In the small town of Millfield, there was a family consisting of a couple, Emily and David, and their 2 children, Jacob and Lily. They had lived in the town for many years and had always heard about the tornado warnings but had never experienced one. One day, while Emily was at work and David was out running errands, the children were left at home with their grandmother, who had come to visit. Suddenly, the sirens went off, and a tornado warning was issued. The grandmother knew what to do and quickly took the children to the basement. As they huddled in the dark basement, the winds outside began to pick up, and the sound of the tornado grew louder and louder. Jacob and Lily were scared and held on tightly to their grandmother. Suddenly, the door to the basement flew open, and a man stumbled in, looking disheveled and terrified. The man, whose name was Tom, had been driving when the tornado hit, and his car was thrown off the road. He had been running for miles and had nowhere else to go. The family welcomed him in, but something about him seemed off. As the tornado passed and the family emerged from the basement, they realized that their town had been completely destroyed. The streets were littered with debris, and buildings had been reduced to rubble. They decided to head to a nearby shelter for safety. During the drive, Tom became increasingly agitated and began acting strangely. He started muttering to himself and fidgeting in his seat. The family became uneasy and tried to make small talk to distract him, but he seemed beyond reason. Suddenly, Tom lunged at Emily, who was driving, causing the car to swerve off the road and crash. Everyone was shaken but uninjured. However, as they got out of the car, they realized that they were in the middle of nowhere, with no sign of civilization in sight. Tom had disappeared, and they could hear him laughing in the distance. They were all scared and unsure of what to do. They decided to stick together and start walking in the direction they thought would lead them to safety. As they walked, they heard strange noises in the distance, and the feeling of being watched became stronger and stronger. Suddenly, they saw Tom standing ahead of them, holding a large knife. He lunged at them, and a struggle ensued. The family fought for their lives, but Tom was strong and seemed to have a supernatural strength. They managed to escape, but not before Jacob was injured. They continued to walk until they finally stumbled upon a small town, where they were able to call for help. The authorities arrived and searched for Tom, but he was never found. The family was traumatized by the experience and never forgot the horror they had endured. They learned that the tornado warning was not the scariest thing that could happen to them, and that danger could come from anywhere, even in the most unexpected situations.